Alright, what's up guys? I'm pretty sure by the video title you already know what's up. So, we have our rep shifter. We got, I already have one of these in my RSX. I beat the crap out of it. I think it's been 2 years. I've had no problems with it. But we got a new one for our project car. So, and the one I got this time, it comes with the shifter springs for the transmission and everything. So we're going to install this today into the RSX, probably a little DIY video, but little backstory on the shifter. You might be new to the channel. I don't know, because it's been 2 years since we've done probably an update on this. So this is actually one of the shifters you guys said to test. And on the channel here, I test parts. If you guys see something you want to put on a car, I'll throw it on my car because I don't care. You know, we'll test it out to see how it worked. I tested this shifter out for like 6 months or so, and then it finally broke. And I was like, whoa, what happened? And so I actually figured out where it broke because I kind of wanted to see, because it worked for 6 months. It worked great. I have the real K-Tune shifter in my K20 MR2, and that's still working perfectly fine. But I figured, I just said, let's see if we can figure out what happened. So the only places where the shifter failed at was down here, these brass springs in here. That's where the shifter failed. And the ball bearing on the other side, that failed in this spring. Those are the only pieces wrong with this thing. Other than that, the shifter worked. So I found somebody that can machine these brass pieces out for me. These pieces down in there. So this one already has the upgraded brass pieces, the spring, and the ball bearing on the other side. And the springs in the transmission are made for this spring. So I guess we'll see how it works. I've had this set up in my RSX for 2 years, haven't had any problems with it. So I guess let's go ahead and let's drop this in. All right, so here's our shifter right here we got. And how to remove this: slide this up. You're gonna pop this, pull that up. And then back here in the back, in this back section, there's 2 screws on either side. There's 1 screw on this side, 1 Phillips head on the other side. And then we're gonna take that out, and that'll get the whole center console out. And then we can just go ahead and get to our shifter. Okay, so this is the center console we got out. There's 2 clips at the beginning. There's 2 screws, 1 up here, 1 up here. I figured it's a little easier to show you guys when it's out. And then 1 down here and 1 on the other side. So that's how you get the center console out. And then this is the same piece just pulled up. That's it. So let's keep rolling with the shifter install. And here's our piece of crap shifter. We got a whole bunch of play. That's not good, is that? Nah, that's not good at all. And to take the shifter out, it's just 4 bolts. This is really self-explanatory. 1, 2, 3, and 4 down there. And then just pop your shifter cables out. There's a little clip right here. Pop that up, and this one right here, this one just twists out. You just kind of turn it down and it'll slide right out. So once you get your, and then you got your little pins right here on the side. You got that pin and this pin over here. So take those 2 pins out, and then it's really not that hard. It really comes right out. This isn't a really hard install. So all right, let's go ahead and pop it out. All right, so here is our old crappy shifter that we pulled out that looks like crap, and we're gonna put the nice new one in. All right, and we got our nice shifter right here. Just gonna throw these bushings down here in the bottom, and let's go ahead and get this thing mounted in here. All right, so we got the shifter mounted in there now. Everything looks nice. We gotta go ahead and get the shifter cables on, and let's go ahead and wrap this up. All right, got our shifter cables connected. We're in there, positive connected there. Everything's bolted down. And I guess right now the only thing you have to do is just throw your center console back on and put everything together, and it should be good to go because everything's nice and tight, no play. How I like it. And these are the springs we're about to install in the transmission. We got these 2 go on the shifter, and these 3 go on the forks. So now This is a lot easier when the transmission is outside the car, but these 3 springs right here go right here. 1, 2, 3. You probably have an engine. Your mount is going to be over that, so it's probably a pain to get to. You probably have to take the mount off to do this. If you're in the car, I'm doing it now since it's outside the car. That makes it a little bit easier. And then these 2 springs go on this section that shifts. There's 4 bolts on the top, and then 1 hex key on the bottom. So take this hex key out first. Take the 10 millimeters off on the top, and the whole section should pull right out. So let's go ahead and get it out. All right, so this is the shifter selector that comes out. The only thing you gotta remove is that little bolt right there. Slide everything off. Put these 2 bigger springs back in there, and put it all back together. The only thing is, just make sure you get the orientation of everything that comes off, because if not, it ain't gonna shift right when you put it back in. So let's go ahead and pop that off, slide this off, put 2 springs on it, and let's get it back in. And these are the old springs that came out. This is the old gasket that was around here. Make sure you wipe that off before you install it back on. Put some Honda bond around it. And this is the new piece. So let's go ahead and toss it back in, and then we should be good to go. All right, so we got our shifter mechanism back in. And we got these 3 little things we got to install. Let's just take these bolts out. There are some springs in them, so you're probably going to need a magnet to take the ball out at the bottom. You don't have to take the ball out, but I'm going to just take it out just to inspect it. All right, and these are the springs that come out. This one on the left side is the factory one. The one on the right side is the aftermarket one. So these are where the springs go. See, the ball is still down in there. I'm going to take the ball out and just inspect it. You don't have to remove it, because literally you can just take this spring out and stick this spring right down in there, and these are the little bolts that came out. Just make sure the spring is back in that hole before you put it back in there, but it's not that bad. Swap springs out, put it back in, be done with it. All right, so bolts back in, everything's wrapped up, shift strong, good to go. All right, so we got our shifter installed. Nice little Type R 5-speed. Yeah, but it looks good. I kind of adjusted it in here how I like it, because with these shifters, you got to remember, you can adjust your height of your knob, you can adjust your side to side, your gate spacing, and you can adjust your front to rear throw. So you can have like a long front to rear and a short side to side, or you could have like a short side to side, short front to rear, and then have a tall shifter, however you want to do it. That's the good thing about these shifters. You can set them up however you like. And now, since we got it all in, it feels great. Like you can just, you probably, I don't know if you can hear it on the video, but you can feel how positive this thing is. Like that's just 3/4. Like it's very positive going into gear. Like when you come over, and then first, second, third, fourth, and fifth. And I mean, there's no play in this thing. It's solid, and that's what I like about it. It makes it like really race car now. It's just I don't know. I just love the positive feel in it. Just when you just, it's like it's no play. That feels great. All right, so who knows what's next? Let's keep rolling on the project, guys. Later.